right, so one of my main goals this month has been to put together a steady stream of national themed content for a couple reasons. I think it can help other collectors out, and then it kind of helps me get in the right mindset as well. Now, before any major show, one thing I've started doing is putting together a rough outline of my goals going in. Most of the time that list stays in my head, but I found that writing it out can be really useful too. There's so much happening during National Week, between the chaos of the show floor, trade nights, dinners, and side events. Without some kind of clear direction, it's easy to just wander around without a plan. Writing my goals out gives me a compass, and by sharing them, it gives others a way to help keep me accountable too. So with that in mind, here are 5 things I'm hoping to accomplish at this year's National. First up, I want to catch up with friends in the hobby that I don't get to see very often. One of the biggest reasons I keep coming back to the National is the people. This hobby is full of amazing collectors, researchers, content creators, the list goes on, and a lot of those people are ones I built relationships with through the podcast, trading, and social media. So while technology allows us to message back and forth daily, I rarely get to see them in person outside of this one event. It's also one of the few times where so many hobby voices, from longtime collectors to those just getting started, are all under one roof. Some of the best conversations I've had weren't planned or scheduled at all. They just happened organically because I was taking a break in the lobby or waiting in a line. Whether it's walking the floor together, trading in the hotel lobby, or making late-night Taco Bell runs, those are the moments I look forward to the most, and those are the memories that stick with me the longest. Yes, the National is massive. The scale alone sets it apart, but aside from that, it's the people and those shared experiences that make it unlike pretty much every other show. That kind of stuff doesn't really happen at a local show. You're there for a couple hours, you go from one table to the next, and you make your way back home. Whereas at the National, you're in the same general vicinity as tens of thousands of like-minded collectors over the course of several days. It creates a whole different environment, one that, quite frankly, I don't think you're going to find anywhere else. Okay, my second goal for this year's National is to get an up-close look at rare, historical cards and museum-level pieces of memorabilia, the kind of stuff you typically only see online or locked away in a private collection. The National is more than just a giant card show. In a lot of ways, it's also a museum, and that's something I've really come to appreciate over the years. At my first National back in 2019, I didn't fully know what to expect, but right near the main entrance, one of the big auction houses had a rookie year, game-worn jersey of Wilt Chamberlain on display, and that moment really set the tone for the rest of the show, and it remains one of my favorite game-worn basketball pieces I've seen to date. That same year, one of the dealers had a Bill Russell letter patch from 05-06 SP Game Used Basketball. I think that's the first time I've ever asked to take a picture with the card, but it was something I had looked at online for years, from my favorite era of collecting, so for me it felt more like a major historical piece. Coincidentally, 2 years later in 2021, Russell consigned a lot of his personal memorabilia with Hunt Auctions, and they brought some of that along with them for their booth. I ended up taking some video of their display, and I've watched it back several times since, but for me, nothing compares to seeing those pieces up close. There's a weight and presence to hobby history that just doesn't translate well through a screen. So this year, one of my goals is to slow down, at least a little, and really take in those historical displays again. Whether it's vintage cards, memorabilia, or game-worn gear, it doesn't matter if I'll ever own any of it, it's still meaningful to see and appreciate it in person. Alright, goal number 3 is a little more work-oriented, but it's work I genuinely enjoy. I've been creating content in some capacity for nearly 7 years now, and whenever I attend a major show, I try to collect good material for both the podcast and the YouTube channel. That means filming, taking notes, having conversations, and keeping an eye out for interesting stories or moments to document. I'm not trying to stay glued to my phone or camera the entire time. I definitely don't want to miss the show by focusing too much on capturing it, but I do like being able to share the experience with people who couldn't be there, and hopefully offer a little insight for future attendees too. So I'll definitely be putting some time into content creation throughout the trip, and I've already got a few ideas I'm excited to try out. The next goal I have for the National is trading up into cards that matter more. Now, that's not to say there are cards out there that don't matter, but I'm hoping to convert some of the things I've accumulated into pieces that are more meaningful for my collection in the long run, or at the very least into cards that might help get me there down the road. Now, I actually don't mind having volume in my collection. In fact, I enjoy it to an extent. But I built up a decent stack of smaller or mid-range cards that I wouldn't mind turning into something a little better, and the National offers a great opportunity to do just that, especially during trade nights. Whether it's one of the official events or just a group of collectors hanging out in the hotel lobby, trade nights are where a lot of the real action happens. There are all sorts of ways to approach them, but my friends and I usually try to grab a spot early and set up shop. Then it's just a matter of making deals with whoever stops by. I've been working on a 2-row box for a while now and pretty much have it ready to go. I don't plan to just give things away, but I think I'd like to move at least half of it before I head home. And if that doesn't pan out, I can always swing by the ComC booth to drop some stuff off. I've already got a separate batch of cards set aside for them anyway. It's an easy way to move some lower end stuff I don't want to carry around, and it frees up space in my suitcase for the trip back. Space I'll hopefully be filling with PC cards. So overall, I think that's a win all around. Speaking of PC cards, my final goal ties directly into that. This year I want to track down at least a couple nice PC additions, and then I'd like to make some progress on a couple of my long-term set builds as well. As usual, I've got a running list of cards I'm hoping to track down. That list typically just lives in my head, but I found it's useful to type it out so I can share it with friends who are willing to help. And then of course I try to do the same for them. Some of these cards are just general types, like Hall of Fame patches, while others are a lot more specific than that. It probably won't surprise anyone to hear that a good chunk of them are Pacers related. I've gotten a little pickier with that stuff over time, but it's still very much part of the chase. I'm also hoping to make some progress on a few of my longer term set builds. I've talked a lot about my 57 top set before. Well, I'm down to just 4 cards. If I can find any of them and the price is right, I'd love to check those off. I'm working on a number of patch sets. There's probably some of that stuff floating around too. It's just a matter of finding it. And then I've got plans to upgrade a card from a project I technically finished a while ago, my signed 72 top set. There's a League Leaders card with Mel Daniels, Julius Erving, and Artis Gilmore on it. And I got Daniels through the mail about a dozen years ago. Well, he passed in 2015, so I was hesitant to send the card out to anyone else. I happened to get Gilmore at a Tampa show earlier this year, so that means Dr. J is the last one left. I've got that autograph ticket purchased, and I'm really excited to finish that one off. Anyway, those are the types of things I'll be keeping an eye out for. Some, like the Irving Auto, are just a matter of taking the right steps. Others might take a little more digging, but either way, I'm looking forward to the hunt. And as always, I'm ready to enjoy the chase. Alright, so there you have it, my 5 goals for the 2025 National. Whether it's seeing friends or picking up a few meaningful additions, I'm going in with a purpose, but also ready to pivot when the situation calls for it. Because like I said earlier, the National can be overwhelming, and sometimes the best moments are the ones you don't plan out. Now that I've shared my list, I'm ready to hear from you. What are your goals for this year's National? Or if you've been before, what's something you wish you had done differently? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thanks for watching.